Welcome to this impromptu Facebook Live on Monday morning. I'm at the office today and clearly having some technical troubles. Plus, the sunshine is so bright that it's coming in the window and making me squint. So I may need to have some sunglasses here before too long. But I have a special guest here with me today because a lot of people are saying in the news that it's better to rent than it is to own. And, you know, if you ask a real estate agent like me, I would tell you that is not true. But don't take my word for it. Let's talk to a pro. And when I say pro, I mean my friend Dave Lewis. Ta-da!
And I'm actually really this white, so it's not just the sunlight.
He's my albino friend, Dave. Mm-hmm. So, okay, Dave, what is your thought here on renting versus owning?
Right. So we're just going to look at the math behind ownership, not the good things like realtors help you sell, like backyards and space for your dogs and painting your walls, which are all awesome things. We're just going to talk about math and very high level math. So stick with us.
Okay. So should I share the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, where's the screen I want to share? Hold on a second. Oh, it's this one. Okay. Sorry.
It's right there.
Okay, here we go.
So what we pulled up here is a quick flyer that shows the difference in owning versus renting in Polk County. So what we did for this is just took averages. So average purchase price up here at the top of $210,000, and average rent in Polk County right now is $1,480 a month. So if you bought a house at $210,000 and put 5% down, over here is what your payment would be based on an interest rate for 30 years of 4.625.
Is that the interest rate?
No, and actually today rates are as low as 4.25.
Ooh,
so I did this flyer a couple of weeks ago. It could be even less.
Okay.
So with taxes and insurance and private mortgage insurance, everything it takes to make a home payment, you're looking at a home payment of $1,505.
Okay.
Now, if you rented it at $1,480, you'd also have to have renter's insurance. That ranges from $10 to $30 a month, depending on how many fur coats and diamond rings you own.
Oh, whoa.
I know, right? So that's going to land between $1,490 and $1,510. The problem with renting versus owning is when you own, the only thing that really can change or fluctuate is maybe insurance or taxes, which is going to be maybe a few dollars a month over the time.
Okay.
Now, rent annually in Polk County, which this little guy is right here, increases 3% a year on average in Polk County.
So this year, you could buy a $210,000 house and pay $1,505 a month, or actually less, because the interest
rates, yeah.
You know, depending on the rate, this is all relative to what you lock in at. Or you could rent for $1,510. So you automatically save $5 a month.
Correct.
I mean, what does $5 buy you?
Well, it depends on who you are.
Some gum?
Some gum, maybe. Maybe a Happy Meal.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe. But the problem with that is this is going to stay pretty constant on owning, but renting, like I said, is about 3% a year. So on average, a first-time home buyer lives in a home 7 years.
Okay. So
in 7 years, rent will be up to $1,803.
Oh.
However, your ownership is still going to be around $1,505. It might be like $1,520, $1,525.
Okay.
But pretty cheap.
Okay.
So the difference between owning and renting is going to be $10,351 over that 7-year period savings if you owned versus rented.
Okay. So should you rent or should you own? Immediately, did you say that's in 1 year?
That's
or
in seven years. Yeah.
So in 7 years, you will have $10,000 more. And so that includes the $5 for your Happy Meal.
Yep.
Plus then so with 10 grand, you probably could get a fur coat.
A nice one.
Yeah. So like it's your owner's coat because you were smart enough to buy a house versus rent. But that's not all.
That's not where we stop. So down here, this $55,000 number in Polk County, on average, over the last 7 years, we have appreciation of 3.43%.
Okay.
What appreciation means is that next year your home is worth more than it was this year.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That's not a guarantee. Again, that's an average. Last year is actually higher than that. It was over 4% for the average home in Polk County.
Well, okay. And so that's average for all prices of homes too, right?
Correct. So the lower price point homes tend to appreciate a little bit faster right now than say a $600,000 or $700,000 house, which has depreciation sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on the price point. But
It's a
again, we're
little
looking at
trickier.
average here. We're not looking at,
Okay.
and if you want specifics, we can always work that out depending on a person's price point.
Yeah, Dave's here for math if you need
That's
it.
that's what I'm good at.
Okay. So
So if you, in 7 years, your home will have appreciated $55,916.
so that actually means that if you were to sell your house in 7 years, it'd be the $210,000 that you bought plus the $55,000 that you've appreciated. So $265,000. I'm really glad you used like even numbers on this because there were
Makes
sevens
math
and
sim-
eights and threes in there. I
math
feel like it'd not be
complicated.
as easy. So yeah, I mean, $265,000 in 7 years is like, that's incredible.
It's totally feasible. And if you think back 7 years ago, the average house price was probably 170 to 180.
It was.
And now you're looking at 210.
Yep.
So it's following that same math.
Right. Well, and I've got people who were first-time home buyers and they bought a first-time home house in 2011, which was more than 7 years ago, but they bought it for $120,000 and it was a flip house. It was in really good condition, totally updated, but it was $120,000 and we sold it, maybe a year or two ago, I think for $170,000. So like, that's really incredible. Right. And, so now they're in their next house, which is like a $250,000 house. So
if you think about that, 50 grand in that 8 or 9 years, that's more than what we're talking about here for 3%. That's like a 5% appreciation.
Well, and so it is all relative, right?
Yeah.
Because the last couple of years, and in that
Really
example, it was a lower priced home. If you bought a $500,000 home, you're probably struggling to get that 3% per year appreciation. Probably. So these numbers are not, don't call me and say, Heather, you said,
right.
Say Dave said, because then I'll tell you, Dave.
This is average. Everyone's going to be different.
Right. Okay.
So the good part is math doesn't stop there.
Oh, more math.
More math. Yay. So when you own something, as you make a payment, you're paying down the balance, just like on a car loan or anything else.
Right.
So and when you rent, you pay nothing down other than the owners, how much they owe. So in that same 7 years, you'll have paid down $25,415.
Okay.
So if we take the savings monthly plus the appreciation, plus what you've paid down, we subtract out from that average real estate commission, 6%. Again, that's average.
Dave is not telling you what you would pay. It's average.
Average. That's the cost to sell. So if we didn't use any tax incentives, because right now the Trump tax cuts, there really isn't a great tax incentive, depending on your income and price point. Again, I'm not a CPA. Adding these up.
And so the tax incentive, in the past, you would have been able to deduct your
interest and property taxes.
Right. And so if you are buying a house at $210,000, you might be, maybe that's $4,000 or $5,000 in taxes, plus
$8,000 or $9,000 interest.
So that's $13,000.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know. There's a 3 in there. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, if you're single, it's a $12,000 write-off right now, standard deduction federal. So if you were single and own this, you could possibly have some savings.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's only going to improve this math.
Right.
If you're married, it's $24,000. So you wouldn't quite get there.
So what Dave is saying is that tax math is really hard. And maybe he's not saying that, but I say that because it's true. Tax math is really hard. Real estate math is also hard. It's like the second worst kind of math there is. The first worst math being tax math.
Yes.
So I think actually leaving the tax benefit out
completely,
whether or not you actually see any tax benefit, is a non-issue in this, because if you don't, great, you're still ahead of the game. But if you do, then it's even more.
It's even more. You got it.
Okay.
So then if we take all of our good, subtract out the cost, that means in 7 years, you'll be $73,528 richer.
What could you buy with $73,000? A new car.
A really nice car.
You could get a Lincoln.
You could get a Lincoln. Or
something
really nice.
What do you, really nice. Hey, I drive American made. What do you drive?
An Audi.
And that's made by who?
Germans. Yeah, but I'm German blood, so I feel like I'm going back to my roots.
I'm an American mutt, so I'll drive a fancy Ford. Okay, so is that all the math?
That's all the math.
So $73,000. You could roll that into your next house. You could get a home equity loan and update the house you currently live in. You could just brag when you're out with your friends that I've got all this equity in my house because I listened to Dave and Heather and I'm rich.
Right. I agree.
Okay, cool.
So if you have questions, call one of us.
Yeah.
We can work this up for your specific price point, for your specific circumstances, and show you the value in ownership.
But ultimately, when you see something on the news that says, well, renting is maybe a better decision than buying, could be fake news, might not actually apply to you and your situation. So it would be good to be a smart consumer and take it a step further and talk to a pro and find out what's actually going to be best for you.
I agree. And remember, most of the news is out there for the coast. So if you're in New York City, this might not apply, or San Francisco.
Oh, right.
But we're not there.
Yeah, for all of my audience in
That's
New York
another,
and San Francisco.
Just in case.
Yep.
But we're
Okay.
talking about Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay, awesome. Well, Dave, was this your first Facebook Live?
Yes.
Did you love it?
We'll see.
Hey, if you guys want a copy of this awesome PDF with all the math, then just comment on this post or send me a message and we can definitely get you a copy of that back. Here, how do I stop share? Okay, stop share. Do you have any wise words to share with people today before we go about our business?
I don't think so.
I feel like you've already been wise.
Yeah, we'll share some more later.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks a lot for watching and have a great rest of your week.
See ya.